Crypto market is pumping, yet the only thing that's moving are memes. And you probably have this weird feeling that something is not right. The reason they're pumping is because they were oversold before. And I can count the memes that are actually printing all-time highs on the fingers of my right hand. Let's actually figure out, is this the top for memes? Are memes dead? We see all these crazy projections, deca-billions, hundreds of billions. Doesn't it look like the top for you? When people start to scream about these type of projections? What is the next meta? Where liquidity is going? Is the market tired from Memecoin degeneracy at this stage? And let's actually go through the current situation with Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Without further ado, let's start. It's very important for us to understand, to analyze what is actually happening on the marketplace. And when we check out top gainers for today, we see things like Weave, Bonk, Popcat, Pepe, Brad, Flocky. They are all surging up. But if you will actually check out the charts, check out what is happening, you can see that they just retraced the deep move right here. And on the smallest dip, they are correcting already. Probably this current correction is just to liquidate late longs. And I'm staying consistent with how I see the market. I do think that we are going to $75,000 BTC. At the same time, the only thing we see pumping are memes. Don't get fooled by the situation. A bunch of things were oversold, and people, they're just re-entering their meme coins that they sold, expecting for the continuation higher. But it's not happening. It almost seems like capital does not want to flow into meme coins, like additional capital. No one wants to buy the bags of other people. Pretty much people that sold before the dip or in the dip, they rebought back. But what are the additional liquidity inflows? What's next for the market? Where this liquidity will actually come from? From Ethereum ETF? Ethereum ETF will actually pump Ethereum, so people will switch from Ethereum into Ethereum memes. We will see that. We had Ethereum yesterday at $3,500 right here. Crazy good numbers as well. And back in March and April, a lot of memes, they had way larger market cap than they have currently at this stage. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what is the next meta, where the liquidity will actually come into. Right now, still memes, but I just don't have the same feeling internally. I think the market is a bit tired. I think a market does not want to buy a lot of these things at this stage. Or maybe the memes that are undervalued. Maybe the memes that did not enter the explosive wave 3. Because there are not experienced market participants at this stage. People who are staying currently, people who are watching this channel, they definitely spend some time in the market. Most of them are actually full-time in crypto, a lot of them, believe me. And interesting thing is that everyone understands that by buying into certain memes, you are buying into someone's bags. And what's interesting is that people are not holding much. They're dumping on people who are buying because they're scared. They don't believe in further continuation of the upward movement as well. And your upside with the current memes, like if you're buying into something around $200 million market cap at this stage, will it do a 3x when majors will be like when BTC will be 80K and Ethereum 4 or 5K? It's a very, very interesting situation currently. Obviously, I'm not talking about leverage. If you leverage long in certain memes, you should be doing quite well. Very important for us to actually understand what would be the next narrative that people will rotate into. And we still see a bunch of meme coins in the top section in terms of all of the memes, right? Yet, profits are being taken on heavily, even before the 2x movement or just after 2x movement. So people, they were buying the dip, and when the token is reaching 2x, they are taking out initials. Very, very interesting situation in the marketplace, for sure. We had something like Heroes of Mavia that I was calling several videos ago at 1.4, 1.7. Right now, it's at 2.57. If you actually longed it, you made a bank. However, it's not moving because the project is the great project or something is happening. It's moving because it was oversold heavily. It was as low as $1 for Heroes of Mavia at the peak FUD, because a bunch of people that had a bunch of free supply through early investing, VCs, they started to dump this thing. That's why it was oversold, and that's why it essentially retraced. And interesting thing that will happen is that the tokens that tend not to be oversold, like maybe some alts with fundamentals that people want to hold through the dips as well, they're not moving much. Very, very interesting situation. Between like top gainers, 80% of them, they're meme tokens. And it's not because like they're so great, so nice. It's because they were oversold. And people are buying back into them expecting that someone will buy after them. But will someone actually buy? We are in a very, very interesting situation in the marketplace. I do see certain topic signals as well, because people behind certain memes, they start to scream about billions and billions and billions in market cap and things like that. And when you hear certain unrealistic market caps and valuations and projections in terms of certain tokens, that means that people just might be overly bullish. That means that might be delusional. It means that it might not be happening short term at this stage. We also have certain delusion in the meme market. There are so many peaks out there to actually put your money into, and there is definitely not enough liquidity on the marketplace for each and every person. Let's see how the situation would actually play out. As I showed in my Discord today, I think the current dip is actually to buy, and I think that we're going to $75,000 Bitcoin. It would be very, very interesting to see what will be happening with alts and memes, and well, eventually liquidity should be coming into other things as well. And memes, they will probably continue to run with the majors as well, because institutions, they are sitting in meme coins and they're trading meme coins. It's just a very, very interesting situation. It almost like market seem to be bored or tired or does not want to. Let me know your feedback, because when I look at older memes, I kind of can see a lot of upside there. And that's why like they're not that interesting. I like to look at stuff like at memes that are being neglected for some reasons, right? In certain ecosystems, maybe that were pumping like back in December or even before, things like that. Because they will definitely have a more explosive upside in comparison to things that are pumping up currently. And the things that are pumping up currently, we also have to understand that people are looking for safety because they're scared. Because the market just reversed. Most people, they don't believe in the reversal of the market at this stage. And what are you paying with for safety in this market? You're right, you're paying with your profits. Let's actually go through some tweets. I would just simply look in. Frog, it's getting cold out here. These scams are getting more elaborate. The devs have better rugged technology and no one is making money anymore. What should I do? I don't have a job. All I do is trade PF coins all day. That's a very, very interesting situation, and I do think it's actually a reality for a lot of Solana Memecoin traders, because you have to understand how carefully, how nicely this funnel is set up in the first place. You have some influencers who are sharing P&Ls like how they made 7 figures or more, and the way they made these 7 figures or more, they had to take money out of thousands and tens of thousands of people. So for each and every of these screenshots, you have a bunch of people who lost money. They're just not that vocal. Maybe they don't have following, so they cannot use it as exit liquidity, right? And it's a very, very interesting situation with Solana that's happening currently. Definitely the market is harsh, and definitely like trading conditions, they're not the best at this stage. People don't trust, people don't believe, people don't have money. They take all the profits that they can right away. It's so crazy to see what is happening currently. It's definitely not healthy. Like we are definitely not in this like easy risk on mode than we were in March and April with Solana memes. I want this life, something I wanted to share. I think it's actually the ideal life for the man. The guy just wakes up, go to his PC, does some things, mostly trading, and he goes back to sleep. And you can see how messy his room is. Man, when I see something like this, I love it so much. Like it does not connect to the topic of the video fully. I'm just curious, what do you think about this lifestyle? Share in the comments as well. One tweet to share on the current situation with Solana memes. I fucking hate it here. $30,000 the guy have, and right now he has 3K. Well, these situations, they happened to me multiple times, specifically on Solana, and I was not losing like 30K of some profits. I was losing 30K plus of my money that I injected and input into memes, and in the recent situations as well, which definitely shows us that people are looking to take profits as fast as they can. No one wants to hold shit. They just want to dump and do nothing. This is very, very interesting situation, because you have to understand screenshots like this and cases like this, they are hundreds, thousands more, they are hundreds, thousands % more frequent than all these screenshots where guy makes hundreds of thousands or guy makes millions. It's a very, it's a zero-sum game, and you have to understand the thing that's happening is that most people are losing their money. And what they do, they leave the market. And if no new people are coming, the conditions, they're becoming harsher and harsher. On top of it, you have scammers with more elaborate tools. The devs have better rugged technology. Do you understand what is happening? This liquidity is flowing out of this low quality shit, and you have to understand that if dev rugs, he probably does not use this money to put into some type of meme coin. It does not come back to the market. He just takes this money and he uses this money the way he actually wants. So it's pure liquidity extraction from the space. That's why it's very important to actually hold your funds in blue chip meme coin asset. I would be doing way better if I would just be holding initial memes, blue chip memes. I was longing, I was buying, and not try to rotate into smaller caps, do a quick 2-3x there and things like that. You have to understand one thing as well. Let's say there is a meme token with a $20 million market cap at this stage. You have $50,000 in this meme coin. You take out 10, you put it into some type of play, right? And whether or not, no one knows if this play would be successful. But let's say by the time you want to put your funds back in, it's not $20 million market cap, it's $25 million market cap. Just a small increase, you might say, 25%, just a small increase. However, in comparison of 250 million market caps from 20 million, that's 12.5x, and from 25 million, it's just a 10x. So just by doing this small manipulation, you're actually losing 2.5x with size that you could have made in the first place. And the larger amount of access, the larger the target market cap actually becoming, the more you're losing. That's why, unfortunately, most people, when rotating, they're just trimming the size of the bags. And that's something that I'm guilty of as well. That's something I would love just to be able not to rotate, not to do anything, just to sit in my stuff and just wait, and maybe just enter things that are blue chip, enter them early and hold, and not do anything else as well. Think of your portfolio in terms of a moving average instead of being so tied to all-time lows or all-time highs. Look at it as a general range. Pick a top week from some big move is just a paper number. You know you can buy pick a bottom and sell pick a top, and yet with your portfolio that's what most people attempt to do, which leads to loss. Hence, people that try sell all-time highs end up selling at all-time lows, and people that try to buy all-time lows end up buying all-time highs breakout. You won't buy a low range weight and then sell in a high range. This type of thinking will make it easier to execute a process. This is such an important tweet. This is crazy. You want to buy at range lows, you want to sell at range highs. Often people just end up chasing green candles and buying the tops instead of selling the tops. You need to be buying closer to the bottom of the ranges. You need to be selling, if you want to sell, closer to the tops of the ranges. Because a lot of people, they're actually buying breakouts eventually. In order to be positioned beforehand, you have to study the skill of waiting. Civil war. Without Trump's head movement, stocks and crypto reap with Trump head's movement. Yeah, that's a very interesting situation. I do believe that maybe after several years, after some time, we will essentially get to know what the situation was right there. The banana zone is essentially when everything is surging and going up. I'm very interested in the situation in terms of the meme coins currently, because I do understand that the reason they're not moving much at this stage is because just people who sold to not pretty much go down with the meme coins, they just rebought. We don't have any new people buying in. And we definitely have a lot of people leaving this space because they pretty much got robbed out of the money in this risky meme coin game. We will see what will be happening. We definitely need new liquidity inflows. We definitely need new meat to come into the market. Well, it will be established by BTC and Ethereum all-time highs, 100%. A bunch of retail will be coming in back. And with coming back of the retail, They will launch marketing campaigns, they will pump the charts as well. Probably the environment will become a bit more risk on as well, at a very, very interesting spot. It's kind of interesting because I understood it early. Probably a lot of people, they feel the same way about certain memes, about the things that are happening. Well, let's see what will be happening when some people might actually become bored. I'm specifically speaking about memes that have larger caps and might have lower upside at this stage, right? In comparison to the upside that lower cap memes have. And it's also about wave structure here, because a lot of the charts of current like larger cap memes, they're looking for a new all-time high to reach it, and what's after, it's quite hard to say, and it fucking might take so much time as well. Ethereum ETFs to launch Tuesday, Balkunas. Very interesting. Tuesday is today, actually. It's crazy. We will see what will be happening with the launch of Ethereum ETF. If it's going to launch on Tuesday right now, it does not look like it will actually be launching on Tuesday, right? Because we just have this dip. We will see what will be happening. And a very interesting situation if liquidity inflows will be low, like not that great, if they will come under expectations, right? But at the same time, I do think that we're going to 75k, and 75k is definitely a positive scenario in terms of Ethereum ETF inflows. And following the narrative on the market, the things that are happening 100%, and following the narrative, the things that are happening on the market, it definitely looks very, very bullish for the Ethereum ETF to be positive, because people are sidelined, people are bored, people just lost a bunch of money, people are not looking after the market. That's crazy to understand what is actually happening currently. The US government is considering backing the US dollar with Bitcoin reserves. Senator Loomis believes that the dollar can retain strength if backed by Bitcoin reserves. Do you even comprehend how fucking bullish this line of thinking is? You know, a great sign of suppressed market is that when bullish news, they don't pump the chart too much. This is a very, very nice sign as well. If we are in the bull market, obviously, because in the bear market in general, bullish news, they're not like pumping things much. And at the same time, at the tops of the bull market as well, bullish news, they start to not pump in the market that much, because the market is exhausted, people are exhausted, they can't hear any more bullish news, they don't want to buy anymore, and you can kind of feel these things. That's something I actually felt back in April as well, when I called in my Discord to take profits, and I took a hierarchy profits. I would wish I would took way more profits back then. Trump is speaking at the Bitcoin conference in a couple of weeks. Trump's new VP candidate publicly owns Bitcoin. Trump currently has a massive lead in polls for this false presidential election. If when he wins, Gensler will be on his way out of the office, who's the head of SEC, right? All of this on the heels of both BTC and Ethereum spot ETFs launching this year, while Bitcoin is accumulating at last cycle's all-time high post-halving. The next couple of years are gonna be lit. Yeah, definitely makes sense. However, it's definitely a longer-term take as well. And the key is not to get bored out of this market, right? Because this is something that might be happening as well. I still don't see like strength in the market. There is a reason, like 2 days ago, I made a video with a preview why the market is so weak. It's definitely quite weak at this stage. It almost seems like just current participants shuffling money between each other, and the person who trades the best actually wins. Like, we don't have much of new meat, we don't have much of retails, we don't have like a lot of capital out there, right? And as usually, $1 billion USDT minted at Tether Treasury. They're doing this before the pumps, usually, and pumps, they essentially come after these things as well. The crypto market is about to flip, and most people are going to miss it. Here's how I know we are going higher. Last week saw over $1 billion in net inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. Weak hands sold, but whales accumulated 4.3 billion of BTC. Trump's assassination attempt sparked people to really how important being against the establishment and censorship resistant is, reclaiming the 200-day MA mega bullish. Bitcoin is starting to bounce back and broke 63,000 yesterday. Germany has concluded its major Bitcoin sales. The fear and uncertainty surrounding empty GOX are behind us. Ethereum ETFs probably launching this week. The stock market is performing exceptionally well. Economic conditions are pointing towards upcoming rate cuts. These next 12 months are going to be fucking huge. What makes me bullish about this is the sentiment on the marketplace. The fact that people are still neglecting these, the fact that people are scared, the fact that people are not putting new capital into the market as well. We're definitely at a very, very interesting situation, because it seems like we had this breakout, and like market makers and larger players, they're pushing the prices of majors. But overall, outside, the market is a bit scared and a bit exhausted, because not all of the things they are actually pushing towards all-time highs. They're mostly just repricing back because they were oversold. So people who were selling, they're pretty much just buying back. And people who bought the bottom, they're already taking profits, which kind of tells you a lot, because people who bought the bottom, they probably are very, very experienced people, and they are taking profits. A very interesting situation. To finalize, as mentioned, I do believe the current correction is just a correction. I do believe that any correction, if you will dip lower, is the opportunity to buy and to enter currently. I do believe that we are going higher to $75,000 BTC. Speaking of altcoins, it's hard currently at this stage. We might be a situation where majors will run and just memes will continue to run as well, some of them reaching the previous all-time highs as well. Will there be upside right after? Very, very hard to say. On certain memes, you definitely can get 2, 3, 4x with them reaching the previous all-time high short term. I'm speaking about larger memes. What will happen right after? Hard. Because even when retail comes and buys Memecoin with market cap of $300 million, first of all, a person just puts 1K. Nothing is happening on the chart. And he has to wait like how much? Several months to triple or 3x. They'll probably just go to casino, try to buy some smaller cap stuff, and probably get scammed. A very, very interesting situation we are in currently. Let's see how it will turn out. Currently, I do think that most memes that are moving, they're pretty much nice choice to enter, because things should be coming back to all-time highs. After that, we will see. Maybe we will finally get the change in the meta, because I can feel that the market is a little bit tired from memes at this stage. Well, this is it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.